Hello everybody, it's Aaron here, and today I'm going to be showing you 5 free programs for creating movies, animations, or video games. Now, back when I first started making this kind of stuff, I had no idea what software to use. And so, for many years, I would seek out software that was not only affordable, but would also accomplish what I needed it to accomplish. And over the years, I can say these 5 programs, completely free, they have served me very, very well. I'll also have links in the description below for each and every one of these so that you can go check them out and download them for yourself. So, let's get started. First we have Blender. Blender is a great software used for 3D modeling, animation, texturing, rendering. You can use the game engine. Now, a note about the game engine, it only works in versions before 2.8. For some reason, I think just in a difference in direction, versions 2.8 and on drop the game engine, but if you go and download an older version of Blender, you can still use it. The Blender game engine is one of my favorite game engines. I really didn't get into using Unity or Unreal, those things. I really enjoy the Blender game engine, so I highly recommend that one as well, and it's completely free. Blender it's Pixar level software. You could make a Pixar movie theoretically with this. Of course, there's a lot of learning that goes into it, and obviously you probably want a team of people to make something like that, but really it's that powerful. Now it can be very, very intimidating at first if you've never worked with any kind of 3D animation software like this, but if you take the time to learn it and really explore it yourself, I know you could watch a lot of tutorials and read a lot of things. I mean, those are really, really great help to you. But even just getting in there and tinkering around with the options and looking around yourself too, I found that for me at least can be very helpful alongside the tutorials and such. Blender is definitely a fantastic one, and I've used it for several animation and video game projects, and again, just a great free program. Next we move on to Game Maker Studio. Now if you wanted to make a 2D game, or if you want to work with sprites, making sprites for those 2D games, I highly recommend Game Maker Studio. It's a really, really great game engine. So what you would need to do, and I have a link for Yo-Yo Games, the developer's website, in the description below. You'll have to make an account and go to the Game Maker tab and go it'll give you the option to download either Game Maker Studio 2, or if you click over, there's an extra tab for Game Maker Studio 1.4, which is the free version. It's really great because you can either use drag and drop or coding. And for those of you that don't know, drag and drop is what we see here on the screen, where you have an event and an action. And so instead of coding it, which can be kind of complicated if you're new to that, you can visually build it up. So you could say if you press A, the character will move in this direction, stuff like that. Or you can use codes as well if you want to do the more advanced and more technical stuff as well. So Game Maker Studio, I've made several 2D games, both retro style ones, and you could even do a kind of a neat combination where you do 3D animated sprites that you render out and put them into Game Maker Studio, and you could kind of make a 2D game that looks kind of 3D. So there's a lot you can do with Game Maker Studio. It's a really great piece of software. Next we get to video editing and visual effects, which is HitFilm Express. Now if you want to download this one, I believe right now they will require you to either share it on Twitter or Facebook or something like that. But hey, to help get the word out about the software in turn for having it for free, that's certainly worth it. And this is a really powerful editor. Now, there is an alternative software if you don't really prefer using HitFilm. It's called Lightworks. It's another professional editing and visual effects software. I used that one for a while, but then I got into HitFilm Express, and I really like that one the best, I think. And you could also, if you're just starting out, use Movie Maker or iMovie. Sometimes I even still go into those just if I need to do something real quick. So those are great to start with. But if you really want to step it up and use something to a professional level, I highly recommend either of these two, but specifically HitFilm Express. You can do green screening, you can do masking, tracking, And then just the simple things like cutting and transitions and having different video and audio tracks, all of that. It's a really great way to get into editing and practice your editing skills. And so next we have Audacity, which is also an editing software, but it's an audio editing software. It lets you put in audio tracks or even record them directly into Audacity, and you can do all kinds of touch-up and effects on them. Like you can remove background noise, you can increase the amount of bass, you can change the pitch, change the speed, whatever you need to do to your audio. And also if you need to combine multiple audio tracks together and do some cutting and fading and splitting apart to make some adjustments or edits, all of that you can do here in Audacity. And obviously it's missing some of the features from the top professional softwares, but still it does all those main things that you're going to need it to do, and you're most likely not going to need the major features that the other softwares offer, especially when you're starting out. But even then, if there's a specific effect that you want to pull off and you can't really do it here, you can check out different plugins to add into Audacity to help you accomplish that task. So again, the fact that not only is it free and powerful and has some great tools at hand, there's also plugins. And Blender has that as well. There's lots of plugins you can put into Blender to get the software to do more that was developed by the community. So that's really helpful as well. And finally, we're going to take a look at Paint.net. Now, that's not a website, that's just the name of the software. It's basically like a more upgraded version of Microsoft Paint. It's not quite a Photoshop level where you can have all those different brushes and presets and everything, but it is a really helpful tool if you want to make, for example, video thumbnails, or if you need to increase the contrast or saturation of a photo. And it also allows you to work with different layers. Obviously you can have transparent images, so you could take a picture of a microphone and plop it into a background picture, and then you have a microphone there. Stuff like that is a little bit more finicky to do with something like Microsoft Paint. Paint.net works really well for that. It's a good way to make pixel art too. We talked about Game Maker Studio and how it has the sprite editor and creator, but I usually go into Paint.net to make the sprites, and then I will put them all into Game Maker Studio. Again, not quite Photoshop level, but I definitely think it's a great start, and it's given me all the tools that I need for what I do. So those are the 5 free programs that have been super useful and have served me very well over the years. Now I can give you all these programs, but that doesn't necessarily mean you'll instantly be able to make amazing movies or animations in video games. It does take effort and time to learn how to master these. They're very powerful pieces of software, but ultimately they are just tools. It's ultimately up to you and your input into these programs to get the best out of them. But it's really comforting to know that you don't have to have a big budget at all to start making movies or animations or games or do audio editing. All of these are very, very professional pieces of software, and they're all completely free as long as you have a good computer and an internet access, obviously, to download them. These programs are just fantastic. Again, I just highly recommend these. And it's a great way not only to get started in these fields, but I honestly think you're going to use these for many years. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to start learning how to use these programs. Although I don't know absolutely everything there is to know about each of these programs, I'd be more than happy to start doing a video series where I teach you some of the basics and even how to do specific little things that took me a while to figure out, but I think it would just be great if there was a tutorial on just specifically how to do that one thing. So definitely let me know, and I'd love to start doing that. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next video.